Welcome everyone to HueFin News. Today is December the 15th, 2018. This is the home of the 2-minute price prediction, as well as giving you all the news according to the charts. And if you guys been watching the United States stock market, the market is taking a continual nosedive in this space. It's just continuing to show you that there's still a lot of confusion and uncertainty going on here on the land called the United States. We're going to talk about an article from CNN. And if you're here and you're a regular subscriber, regular viewer of our videos, you already know that we look at the price chart as the truth. So what we do, we look at articles and make sure that what they're trying to display or insinuate, if it is in fact what is being seen on the price chart, because the price chart is the truth. It has all information from all the market participants listed there on the chart. So we don't have to do a lot of research, a lot of reading. We don't have to deploy a lot of resources just to determine where prices are likely to go. They have already done all that work for us. So all we got to do is understand precisely what the price bar's volume means, and you too can join along with them in making profits and as well maintaining your profitability before anybody else. Because that's what we do here at HueFin News. We are the news organization that is giving you price forecasts before the market moves actually happen. Okay, so if this is your first time, make sure that you do not forget to subscribe to this channel. Do not forget to like and share this content as well, because we're here to give you price forecasts without the confusion. So now this was an article that was posted yesterday, December 14, 2018. If you're an avid watcher of the stock market, you already know that the Dow, the Nasdaq, and the S&P 500 all plummeted yesterday in the market. Now, CNN is going to go on and try to tell you that is mounting global growth fears that has caused this decrease in price yesterday. Okay, the Dow dropped 497 points or 2% yesterday. The S&P 500 declined almost 2% as well, sinking to the lowest level since early April of 2018. And the Nasdaq also tumbled 2.3%. So it is weakness across the board. And if you guys been watching our stock portion of our videos, we've been telling you all that the market is weak, and we told you to look at the weekly chart, and depending on how we close the week for the United States stock market will definitely tell us what direction we will go, and we'll dive into that once we look at the price chart. So considering that the title of this article is negative, Wall Street darkest quarter since 2011 just got worse, we need to make sure that those things translate over to the price chart. Okay, so we're going to pick out a lot of the negative points that this article has, and then we're going to see if it's still displayed on the price chart. Now, as I could tell earlier, as I just mentioned earlier, I told you all that the market plunged yesterday, and here's some of the negativity or some of the reasons as to why CNN expects the market move the way that it did yesterday. Okay, now they're forecasting negative corporate and economic developments, weak growth numbers out of China and Europe. So that is a negative sentiment. You can see here that they even asked Michael Block, who is a market strategist at Third Seven Advisors. It's a private wealth management firm, private. He stated or said that something is wrong here. There is this global slowdown. We can't deny it. So that's negative as well. It goes on to talk about Johnson & Johnson. J&J is the ticker symbol, but we're not here for that. That is not the reason why we see a global plunge in the stock market. So we're just going to go ahead and skip that. Now, Block continues to say that this is supposed to be a hiding place. It's certainly a blow to a lot of people, said Block. Pain begets pain. So literally, that tells you that the negativity in the market should be still reflected on the price chart. Okay. Also, $39 billion has been taken out of the stock market. This has been the second consecutive week of losses for the United States market. The S&P 500, for instance, is down 11% in the fourth quarter. That is on pace for its worst quarter since 2011, the worst quarter since 7 years ago. 7. The S&P 500 has only closed down 10% or more in the final quarter of the year 10 times since 1928. So this is definitely a situation that is not normal, and it is definitely something that has a lot of investors taking their money out because of the uncertainty of the market. The investors, as a matter of fact, has taken out $39 billion from global equities in the latest week. So that should correlate to the chart as well. That is definitely negative. People are not positive on the current direction of where the stock market currently is going. And they went ahead and they took their money out the stock market and placed it into the safety of the United States dollar, which climbed to an 18-month high on Friday against the basket of other world currencies. Okay, so the dollar is getting stronger while the stock market is getting weaker. Let's go ahead and see if we see any negativity here on the price chart. I don't want to waste too much of your time, because overall you can see here that the NASDAQ is still giving us a weakness. Is the monthly chart for the NASDAQ. We're not getting as much volume that we've seen over the last 2 months, but considering the way that the bar currently is closed, we still got 15 days in the month of December, but the market is still showing us indications of at least consolidation, and that means 6,400 points all the way up to 7,200, maybe a little higher than that, is where the resistance area, the consolidation area, lies in the NASDAQ. But the market is definitely weak. Okay, do not want you to become oblivious to that notion and that fact. Okay, this is the weekly chart of the NASDAQ. Okay, and you can still tell here that the market in the NASDAQ continues to show us that we did not end the week positive. So the weakness is still here in the NASDAQ. I told you all to watch how this particular weekly bar ends. And as you can tell, we did end lower than the previous week, but the volume definitely is non-existent. So we can see increase higher prices, but considering the fact that this is our second week closing lower than the prior week, I'm still seeing weakness in the market. Okay, so we might get another quick movement to this 6,400 point area, and then we might see an increase to the upside. But I am not looking at this particular market until we actually find a support area. The uncertainty is still here. I'm still looking for the NASDAQ to move lower, even though there is a slim probability of us hitting that 6,800 point area next week. So now here we are looking at the S&P 500. Let's go ahead and see what's going on the monthly chart. And as you can tell, the monthly chart is not looking pretty good. We're in fact currently closing right here on this area of support for the S&P 500. Just like the NASDAQ, we're not seeing a lot of indications of activity in the market for the month of December. We definitely need to see what is going on in the market as to that fact. Okay, looking at on the weekly chart for the S&P 500, you can still tell that we're weak in the market for the S&P 500 too. So I'm still seeing indications that this particular market is going to continue its movement to the downside as well. It might come down to this particular week of April 2nd, 2018, where it traded at a low of 2,547 points. The market overall is still negative and is still weak. I'm still seeing indications that we're going to move lower, but we might not move that low. Okay, due to the amount of volume that we're seeing in the space for this prior week. But you can still tell that there's no strength coming to the market, and how we ended Friday still tells us that at least on Monday we're going to see another movement to the downside. Now, if we'll be able to catch support, that is yet to be seen. But again, in the near term, S&P 500 is still weak. It might hit that 25.50 and around that price beginning on Monday. And if we find some buyers to come into the space, that would be where they would enter the market. Okay, but until then, expect the S&P 500 to move to the downside too. So now we're going to look at the Dow. This is going to be the last one that we're going to see in this space. Let's go ahead and see what's going on a weekly chart. Let's go ahead and bring this up real quick. So this is the Dow. Let's bring up on the monthly chart and show you what's going on. And the Dow is trading just like the S&P 500, but still in a consolidation period. So it's not a cause for a huge amount of alarm. But if we're ending the month of December with us closing towards the low of the bar, then yes, I will be a little bit more alarmed. That 23,000 point area would definitely be in place. And that's literally what I am looking at now. At this, if we were to take a snapshot in time, that weakness in the space for the Dow is still there, and 23,000 points is where I will be looking for the market participants to try to hold support. Finishing off the week, this week, you can see here that we're still weak, just like all the other two indices. I'm not seeing the Dow showing us any indication that it wants to move to the upside. So movement to the downside is still in play for the Dow as well. Okay, 23,500. Maybe even 23,000 points is where the market looks like it's trying to get to. Okay, so with the daily price bar concluding the way that it looks now, if we break it to the downside starting on Monday and we close below it on Monday, then yes, we will continue to see the Dow moving lower to 23,600 or even 23,200 points. Okay, so the Monday's trading day, the market is going to move to the downside, but we need to see if the buyers are going to step in to keep us traded within this trading range that we have drawn on this chart. Okay, now the market is definitely weak. We have a lot more volume coming in on the Dow as well, so we have a lot of volatility being reflected in the space. Tells you that we are definitely showing a lot of indecision, a lot of uncertainty, and something that definitely needs to keep you on guard as we continue to end out 2018. Overall, what the market is telling us, as well as what the article is trying to insinuate, they both correlate. So as always, we always follow the chart. The article is in line with the price chart. So I will have to be in agreement with the article as it stands today, December 15, 2018. The overall three indices are still weak. I'm still expecting them to move to the downside, but we are seeing increasing chances of the market trying to hold support relatively soon. I still think we got a little bit lower to move on all three indices, and then from there we need to reevaluate to see if the market participants are going to jump in and hold support and move to the upside. But until then, I'm still expecting these indices to continue its movement lower in price. Now that's our opinion, that's our thoughts. We definitely like to get yours, so leave us a comment in the comment section of this video and let us know what you think. Do you still see the United States stock market moving to the downside, or do you think that this is a huge fake out and we can still see like a 10% rally to end out 2018? Let us know. And while you do that, go ahead and do not forget to subscribe to this channel. Do not forget to like and share this content as well. Make sure you all maintain your profitability, and I will see you all later.